All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1, Episode 2.
With that first episode, we have basically just blitzed through about 60 episodes of Bleach, you know? And
I mean, let's be real. Let's go to like 29, or something like that. But
sure.
The main thing is that we got freaking Grandpa is dead.
Grandpa's dead.
Yuji
like
is
that.
freaking possessed by some kind of like cursed object of a person or thing that was really powerful, named Ryomen Sukuna, and he's just like, I mean, he has his body, and then he also is able to subvert the will of this thing just like, casually.
Let's stop being possessed right now. Just hold on a sec. Close those eyes. Go back to sleep.
But we know, based on how the beginning of the first episode starts, that he is probably going to get his ass beat by the Kakashi-looking guy.
Right.
Which is going to be awesome. At the very least, restrained in some way.
Yes.
And then probably some kind of mild, temporary, like, exercising.
Well, yeah, or execution.
Well, right. Well, that's what he's wanting to do.
Right.
But, main boy, so they're going to find some kind of
go to get to
that. And something in the middle. It's maybe a bit of a compromise. But okay. That's what we're set up, so let's go.
Yep.
Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Here he is. Yep.
来る気なかったんだけどさ。いやー、ボロボロだね。2年のみんなに見せやーっ
I love it.
Yes.
Wait,
what's the bag?
He was out shopping.
Yeah.
見つかった？
ごめんそれ。俺食べちゃった。
マジ？
Oh my god. I love this so much. It looks intently with the
I'm very curious how he gets from this to, all right, I'm going to secretly execute you.
Yeah. Wait, what? All right. I like it. I like it. Oh my god! Oh my god, this animation! That's so good! Jesus!
Yes.
Oh my god! What? How does this look this good? Oh my god! How? Oh my heart. No, I think this is the kid. I think this is Yuji.
Oh, yeah.
He's manually like, go to sleep. Yep. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
This is so good.
And it's moving so quickly.
I know, so fast.
So the secret execution is actually a test.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's being done in secret, so that way it doesn't have to actually be carried out.
Yeah.
As
your senpai, yes.
Wow, that was a recording. I love it.
And that's why it's so fast-paced. They abbreviated things. Yeah. It's abridged.
Indestructible.
Wow.
So,
this is a dead being.
Gotcha. So if he eats them all, he might be able to permanently get rid of this thing.
Right. We'll use you as a...
Yeah.
I love it. The problem with that is that he'll probably get stronger
with each
inside of Yuji. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. I love it. Okay. Now let's go with the OP. Yep.
Yeah. And, if he waits until he's on his deathbed to absorb the last one, No big deal, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
It's
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
fine.
Problem is, he might be too weak at that point, you know?
Possibly, but even if it's just that, that's 19 out of 20, you know.
Right, but if they've been looking for people that could be vessels, there's real weight to the "it's a miracle that's all he's doing to you right now" line.
Right, yeah.
Meaning that they've had. I still want to know what is up with the pants. Also, that guy looks like Kira Yoshikage.
Oh.
Or Yoshikage Kira, whatever you want to. Just.
I love this guy's personality, though. He's
same,
so chill,
same.
while at the same time being a total badass.
Yeah. I want to know what is up with the panda.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, man.
I must know. I want the deep lore. Right.
で、どうするか決まった？
Does that imply that that's him being cremated?
I think so.
Yeah.
結構あんの。呪いに遭遇して普通に死ねたら御の字。
Ah. Well, good to know.
ぐちゃぐちゃにされて
Jesus.
も
Oh.
死体が見つかればまだマシってもんだ。スクナの捜索をするとなれば凄惨な現場を見ることもあるだろうし。
Okay.
君がそうならないとは言ってあげられない。ま、好きな地獄を選んでよ。
Choose your hell. I like it.
Yeah. And he still has the scar from where the eye popped out underneath his eye there.
あの指まだある。
Ooh.
So you're just gonna eat it right now?
改めて見ると気色悪いな。
He stands
Stepping
back a little.
yeah.
No chewing.
さて2本目10分の1かどうなる？
Okay. Oh, that's a cool effect.
Yeah, his grandpa's ash is right there.
I know.
笑いてくるわ。
And he just does it.
肉体の体勢だけじゃない。
Yeah.
好きな相手に難なく自我を保てる。1000年生まれてこなかった逸材。
All right.
いや、なんでもない。
I'm just admiring you.
できたってことで。
It's the thing of he doesn't want to tell him how impressive it is,
Right.
Because then that might make him freak out, you know?
Yeah.
でも呪いはほっとけね。
Oh.
本当にめんどくせえ。
Yeah.
All right.
So you gotta
Yep.
keep doing this, man.
Mm-hmm.
てめえの死に様はもう決まってんだわ。
Oh.
いいね。君みたいのは嫌いじゃない楽しい地獄になりそうだ。
All right.
徐々に荷物まとめておいで。
I feel like these two are gonna fight a couple more times before this series are over.
見てそう思うか。お前はこれから俺と同じ呪術師の学校に
Ah,
転
hell
校
yeah.
するんだ。
Well,
He gets to be the mysterious transfer student, the main
東京都
character.
立呪術高等
Oh my
専門学校
god.
ちなみに
damn.
1年生は君で3人目。少な。
Wow.
Are the other two his friends from the occult club?
Probably not. No.
なんだ貴様が頭ではないのか
Telepathy?
Yeah.
力以外の序列はつまらんな
Oh, oh, whoa.
悪い先
Gotcha.
生。たまに
Oh,
出てくるんだ。
dang.
愉快な体になったね。
Oh.
貴様には借りがあるからな
両面少なは腕が4本。
Imaginary
顔が2つある
god?
仮想の鬼神。だがそいつは実在した人間だよ。
Okay.
1000年以上前の話だけどね。
But he
呪術
became a
全盛の時
god
代
essentially.
術師が総力を挙げて彼に挑み敗れた。
Holy
スク
shit.
ナの名を冠し
Alright.
死後呪物として時代を渡る城郎さえ僕らは消し去ることができなかった。まごうことなき呪いの王だ。
Okay.
先生とどっち
Oh
はい
my god.
そうだね。力のすべてを取り戻したスクナならちょっとしんどいかな。
That might be a little
Joe?
draining, you know.
勝つさ。
Press X to doubt.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's ridiculously strong.
遅いぞサトル8分遅刻だ責めるほどでもない
Wait, is it the
遅刻
panda?
するくせ
Okay. Oh my god.
I love
Oh
it.
my god, I love this guy's design.
Yeah.
Yes. The dissonance. Yes.
虎杖裕二です。好みのタイプはジェニファー・ローレンス。
Ah!
よ
What?
ろしくお願いします。
呪術高専にだ
Oh my
呪
god.
術を習いに。
その先の話だ
I respect your taste, though.
その先に何を求める
何っていうか、スクナの指回収するんすよ。ほっとくと危ないんで。
なぜ事件事故病気 君の知らない人間が日々死んでいくのは当たり前のことだ。それが呪いの被害となると看過できないというわけか。
It's a fair
そう
point.
いう遺言なんでね。
つまり他人の指図で君は呪いに立ち向かうと
Oh shit. Oh shit.
不合格だ。
Yeah.
Just like that.
人形じゃなかったのか。
They were.
違い、人形だよ。
Is that what the
私の
panda
呪
is?
いがこもっているがね。
Not so fluffy.
Nope.
本当に人形かよ。
It's got personality.
Yeah.
家族の遺言だっぜな。
Oh wait, nope, still fluffy. Very.
Oh,
very
oh
much
no.
so.
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh shit. Yeah, you're in trouble now.
I love the balance of seriousness and comedy.
ある程度の怒り具合と高いモチベーションは不可欠だ。
Like, look at this
それ
guy.
を他人に言われたから笑わせるな。まだ死刑を先延ばすためだと言われた方が納得がいく。
ざけんな。俺は。
君は自分が呪いに殺された時もそうやって祖父のせいにするのか。
Yeah,
It needs to be your decision,
right.
even if it's spurred on by someone else
嫌な
initially.
こと言うな。
気づきを与えるのが教育だ。
俺は別に。
Fight. Who said the fight was over? Yeah.
死に際の心のありようを想像するのは難しい。だがこれだけは断言できる。今のままだと大好きな祖父を呪うことになるかもしれんぞ。呪術師に悔いのない日などない。
Oh, and if you have regrets and things like that,
君は
you
なぜ
cursing someone else in your mind can lead to an actual curse, theoretically.
Oh shit.
少なくそれは俺にしかできないんだって。死刑から逃げられたとして使命から逃げたらさ、飯食って風呂入って
Yeah.
漫画読んで
But ultimately
気持ちが
regret
途切れ
it.
た時、ああ今スクナのせいで人が死んでるかもなってへこんで、 俺には関係ねえ、自分に言い聞かせるのか。
The
そんな
flame
の
grows
ごめんだ
stronger.
ね。自分が死ぬ時のことは分からんけど、生き様で後悔はしたくない。
Nice. Acceptable.
サトル、行を案内してやれ。
Nice.
それから諸々のセキュリティの説明もな。合格だ。ようこそ呪術高専へ。
Yep, yep.
あ、すまん。術式解くのを忘れてた。
My bad.
He's like, I'm not actually controlling them. Like,
Yeah.
they're autonomous. Yeah.
そんな簡単に見つかるならとっくに全部見つけてるっちゅう
Only been able
話。
to find 6.
気配が大きすぎるもの、息を潜めているもの、すでに呪霊に取り込まれているもの。
That was one of the things I was gonna ask. Yes.
君の中のスクナが力を取り戻すための
Right.
指のありかを教えてくれる。君
Ah,
は器
cool.
であると同時に探知機、レーダーでもあるわけだ。だ
Nice.
から現場にいないと始まらない。
But if anyone else has done something similar, they'll be doing the same thing.
Right, right.
隣かよ。
お、不思議だ。
Of course. These guys are gonna be best friends. Yeah.
質なんていくらでもあったでし
Yeah.
ょ。
Why'd you have to put him
だって
here?
賑やかな方がいいでしょ。よかれと思って。授業と任務で十分です。ありがた迷惑。
おお、ちゃんとしてる。
3人目の1年生を迎えに行きます。
All right, let's
Oh,
get.
so Fushiguro is a first year.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be the girl in the OP then. Yeah.
All right. All
They come
right.
in threes.
すでに4時間。午後には東京か。
Damn, that looks good.
スカウトされたらどうしよう。スタダとか。
Wait, Stardust.
I mean, I love the movie, but
Oh, ED.
yeah.
Oh my God,
This is a bop.
this is so good. Yes.
The panda. We need
Praise the panda.
panda.
Praise the panda. Yes, the panda. Oh, the panda.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Man, that episode was great.
So they picked up immediately where the previous episode left off and had the best animation for a fight I've seen in a long time. That was ridiculously good. Like there were so many moments where they just kind of changed the style, if you will.
Right, the motion of everything was just wonderful. And one of the things that I gotta give special props to is that sometimes in anime it'll be like, super cool fight. And a lot of it will be determined by how they use like color and things like that for like the spiritual powers of, you know, the people fighting, or, you know, or things like that, right? And not that isn't awesome when it's done, but the fact that this was all basically just martial fighting, you know,
just
like
body movement.
Yeah, just body movement, right? Like, and it was amazing. Like my eyes were just glued to the screen, what I was seeing. Like I was like, this is amazing, right?
And it wasn't that long. Like it was very quick. But like the moment where when he's possessed by Sukuna and he does that little flip in the air there, like this part here.
Oh yeah, when they're back to back and then
and then he flips him over, but then he does that spin twist and then lands.
Yeah. Like so much of this could have just been like we blur things out and then like, you know, so that we don't actually have to see them moving from place to place, you know, and just to show that they're really fast. But no, it was just fluid the whole way through.
Like they did blur things, of course, because that's how every anime does things with regards to.
But it was
action stuff.
Very little.
Yeah, it was very much in those transition points there.
Right.
But it
used to accent rather than rely on.
Right. It felt like everything had weight. Yeah. Even though you could tell how light on his feet Gojo was. Yeah. Like, oh my god.
That was so much fun. And the fact that like his personality too, because so his introduction from the previous episode is, I'm gonna secretly execute you. Right? You're in a room and you're tied up and stuff with seals everywhere and shit. And it's like that communicates to me this is hardcore mode, right? Like we're not having fun right now, right?
Taking this very seriously.
Taking this very seriously. And that's important for setting the stakes of what's going on, right? But for the sake of the continuity, or not continuity, but the ongoing nature of the series, right? If we're going to establish all these characters, we can't have everything be serious all the time.
Yeah.
And while we do need to know that things can get serious, if this world/power system that is introduced is taken so overly seriously, then that can kind of kill some of the enjoyment of the fact that we're going into this wacky new world.
The reason why that's important is that these are all human beings ultimately. While they have cursed things that that give them power and stuff, like this is very much a motivation of the characters to make sure that they take care of, you know, Itadori Yuji. But also need to show that personality, that humanity in the midst of that. So him snapping all those pictures of Fushiguro and be like, I'm going to show this to everybody
else. Of like the what is it, mochi with like stuff inside it, you know, like that's amazing. Even the principal later having the dolls that he's making and stuff, because it's like, hey, everyone needs a hobby, right? We see some dark shit, right?
We see some dark shit.
And he says that to Yuji. He's like, hey, we're in more chill, happy, fun times right now because you apparently are so good at just keeping this super bad dude under control.
Well, for the most part. That's one of the things that we kind of get a little bit of a reveal here, is that it's not actually fully under control. It's that there are times where he's basically not having to fight this thing, and it tries to basically sneak out like little opportunities to interact with others. Like, that bit where he's like, hey, you, I'm gonna remember you. Next time I take over, I'm killing you. Like, you're first. And he's like, ooh.
What a compliment.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
But and the whole fact that he's hanging around Yuji, it's like, okay, how much of it is I'm showing you the ropes, and how much of it is
I'm watching you.
But I'm also watching you, and you know, if you did need to be put down early, hey, we'd be getting rid of 2 fingers, you know, so that's more than 0, you know.
Yeah.
But
compared to what we saw, like it would be easy for him to do it.
But yeah, so I love it. It's just there's so much personality to all the characters and everything that are being introduced. Yeah, and that makes me excited to get more of it, right? Like
and to get more invested. Like I think that's one of the things that's rough about most shonen in their earlier stages is they don't actually give you as much to get invested into. They give you more to get excited about.
Oh, okay.
To get like technical here, the idea of seeing a really cool fight scene or seeing some really cool powers gets you excited about understanding it. Basically, it gets you excited to get invested. But if you don't get invested quickly, you can lose that excitement as it fizzles out over time.
When it comes right down to it, the characters are what matter most, and the fights and things like that.
Serve as a backdrop for those characters.
Right, and these fights are really cool, right?
Really good look.
And I'm sure that this animation will absolutely stand the test of time, right? But if you were to go back 15 years ago to what was cool back then, that would be different than what's cool now.
Right.
And as we go into this show, if the show gets, 6 seasons or something like that, on season 6, seeing stuff like this, that's just par for the course at that point. It's still awesome.
Gonna look really
still going to look real cool. But, it's like, it's not surprising, right? So having that foundation in the heart of everything that's going on is super important.
Yeah, which is the fact that this boy has resolved to go and use his unique ability to consume Sukuna's cursed fingers, basically, to protect people, because in the long run, he would have turned down the opportunity to do something that he would have, he would
end up regretting it.
Yeah, he would have really ended up regretting that. And there's a very simple motivation in that. But there's also something that I don't think he's really taking into account here. One of the things that his father's dying words have...
Grandpa?
They say father?
Yeah, I mean, he was basically...
Yeah, he said like a father to him, so he might as well be. But yeah, his grandfather's dying words are actually in some ways a bit of a curse.
Sure.
And this is something that I kind of like that Yaga Masamichi, which I love the design and the dissonance of him with the cute dolls and everything like that. But he's just this like... Yeah, I'm a big guy,
and I've got my super cool glasses and everything.
Right, exactly.
Yep,
love it. Basically saying that you're all going to end up with regrets. Right. All these jujutsu, users and stuff like that, they all end up with regrets when they die. But basically, you can't live your life just I don't want to have regrets, because that's inevitable.
Right. Don't be focused on a negative, be focused on a positive.
Focus on a positive,
and have it be something that comes from within you, because you very well could end up cursing your grandfather because, he laid this curse on you. Curses can be a thing that can be positive, or it can be a thing that's negative, right? It's a binding, basically.
Yeah, it's like a vow. It's basically like a thing of where you didn't necessarily make the vow, Itadori Yuji. You kind of accepted this missive, if you will, from your grandfather. And to take that in as I will live for others means you might not see your own life as being that valuable.
Right.
And if you're doing this with you die now or you die later, that's basically a thing that you might not want to accept as inevitable. But that's going to play in probably to the fact that this... Ryomen Sukuna is also not going to want you to die.
Right.
So
that is something that you'll have as an advantage.
There's a conflict that's being established here very early on that has me very invested.
On that note, though, I am kind of curious, because Sukuna, he might be like, okay, I want this kid to live so that way
he can gather more of me.
Well, sure. And also so that the ones that he's already ingested aren't destroyed. But at the same time, if he starts to think, this kid might actually be able to keep his foot on my neck, he might actually be able to eat more of them, he might end up wanting him to die sooner, that way for the sake of the others.
Maybe.
So that way it's like, okay, we'll lose 3 or 4, but we're not going to lose 15.
Yeah, to be fair, one of the things that's, another thing that they brought up in the world building was they said that this Sukuna, has blah, 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 blah. The idea that these are cursed objects of a being. They are not like the heart or the mind or the brain. Right, they do not have maybe communication or awareness or control of necessarily the other ones at every given time. Maybe they can sense each other, like a Horcrux kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe, if anything, we'll get to know Sukuna through this
Sukuna.
And this Sukuna might be different over the course of the series than the other ones that maybe some other being has ingested.
If these cursed objects were created 1,000 years ago and they haven't,
well, I mean, the guy lived 1,000 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But if that's around when they would have been created, right? Because it would have been when he died.
Well, that's the thing. He became a cursed object.
Right.
He himself.
Yeah, but they were saying that they couldn't even harm the wax on his grave. So there was a point where he passed and his fingers became these cursed objects and he lived on through them. Right. It's the whole unlife wibbly wobbly weird shenanigans.
Yeah.
But if there isn't any kind of hive mind amongst them, right, because they're separate, then that means that they have theoretically up to 1,000 years of time to diverge in personality.
Oh.
Which means
that's interesting.
Which means that while
Except
it might still
he's
be
already imbibed 2 and there was no real
change, right? But there is the possibility that there's also potentially some feedback that could happen over a long period of time when they're bonded with somebody.
Sure,
so there's all kinds of
what I think makes sense,
things that could end up happening because at some point he's going to run into people that have also ingested them,
and those will be the real dragons in his way.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I'm curious to see how that goes because
I think there'll be some kind of resonance between the two aspects of Sukuna as they come closer and it'll be like, ooh.
But at the same time, I would love to see them get in a conversation with each other and maybe even an argument.
That would be pretty cool.
Hold on. No. Like, even if it's as simple as, I think our host is better.
Yeah, it's very much a Parasite.
Our host is better. We should,
Remember Parasite the Maxim? It's very much a thing of like, this body sucks. Open up your arm so that I can join with your other side and we'll co-own that host.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the idea that Yuji has so much control of himself that he does not really need much help or training or internal hollow.
Yeah, we're not having some multi-episode thing where you go into a barrier cage so that way we can beat down the inner monster.
Yeah.
No, he's just like, hey, stop that.
Got it. Because I think they're setting up the idea that this is only the beginning. You're going to bring a lot more into you very quickly.
They did the second one casually,
Yeah. And already it's talking without his consent. It just spoke out of his cheek. And then when he put his hand to cover it, it talked out of his hand.
Right.
Basically saying that it already has access to your entire body. But it does not necessarily need to be fighting or tattooed up, really, in order to kind of do things without your knowledge.
Right.
Which is already a little unnerving.
It has certain privileges, and it might not have administrator access.
Right, it doesn't have administrator access. Yeah.
And that is damn impressive.
That is amazing.
Damn impressive. But that being said, it can still be finicky.
Right.
It's the kind of thing where it's a good thing you're not still at your regular high school because it would make your life miserable.
I almost get the vibe because this is I'm stereotyping a lot of shonen in a lot of ways here, but I feel like this aspect is going to be very similar in some ways to some of the more jokey sides of what Migi was in Parasite the Maxim, where it's the, I can see you want to have relations with that one over there. And it's just like, shut the fuck up.
And then suddenly his right hand starts trying to get busy with his junk.
I mean...
I would not be surprised if there was a point where there was some really sexy lady or something, and then all of a sudden, like, an eye opened up and was like, But although at the same time, we might not have to worry about that because he straight up just has a bikini poster in his room.
So you're saying he's going to keep himself very well just regulated?
Well, that's one way of saying it, but that we might not have to deal with the ooga, because it's not a big deal for Yuji.
My man here just blurted out that he likes girls like Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh my god, that was great.
something tells me it has nothing to do with her acting ability. Though.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, he wasn't talking about my favorite actress. He's like my favorite, like my
type.
My type.
My type.
He's like Jennifer Lawrence, which you could do worse, my buddy. Like,
I gotta say, I feel
taste.
like we're also just setting up a little bit of the idea with this girl that's coming over from the country. That she's kind of a little bit of like a hardened badass, you know?
Oh, sure.
But she's gonna try to fit in with all the city folk and stuff like that.
Right.
Except she's gonna be like super like geeking out over like the smallest little things.
I am very curious what her character ends up being like, because given the fact that we just moved away from the original school, so we lost 2 characters in the occult club.
Our trio that we thought was going to be our trio
is
getting replaced with another
trio.
Another trio,
right.
basically.
And Fushiguro,
he is very much like Kageyama.
Yeah, like Fushiguro's cool. Yeah, right. You know,
I'm cool.
Well, or
serious.
Wait, actually, not.
No, he's not cool at all.
He's not cool. No, what am I talking about?
No, Gojo
cool.
is cool. Yeah. But Fushiguro, he's the one that's like, I take this very seriously.
Right.
And I mean, why'd you have to put the cursed boy like right next to my room? It's like, well, you guys are the only first years here so far.
Yeah. Now, given that we have Fushiguro and we have Satoru, right?
Are we going to call him Gojo or Satoru?
Well, the president was calling him Satoru.
Okay, so Satoru.
But he probably wasn't calling him by his first name.
Well, that was the thing, because Fushiguro called him Gojo Senpai.
Oh, that's true.
I believe. So
we'll
Gojo,
sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But given what we have from Gojo / Satoru, I am very curious what the personality is of this new girl, because when you have a main core cast of only 3 characters, right? You got to make sure that ideally 2 of those, you're like, the majority of the audience is like, hell yes, I love them, right? Because if you have 1, you can get away with that, right? But they're less tries, basically, to win the hearts of your viewers, right?
I would say that right now, I'm getting mild tsundere vibes from her, and I would say that I'm also getting the, the potential from just the ED kind of stuff. That she's the person that's going to be freaking out about every new thing that she comes across.
Okay.
Like, there's going to be this excitement that comes from being like, oh my god, this store, like, oh. I want to see already slice of life shenanigans with the 3 of them.
Absolutely.
Because of the ED. Like, entirely because of the
that
ED. Once Gojo went sunglasses shopping, I was like, I'm sold. Yeah. I'm sold. I want these 3
the way he, like,
to
walked
just
out
annoy.
the door.
Yeah, I want these 3 to just bungle around and annoy Gojo just all the time. Just all the time.
I actually kind of want them to annoy Fushiguro and then have Gojo be egging them on, like encouraging all the bad behavior and antics and stuff.
I think Fushiguro is going to loosen up like really quickly.
Yeah.
And I mean really quickly.
I don't know. The one bit of description we got about him this episode is that, your room is very well organized. Right? And then
get out of my space. Ugh.
Right, and then he slammed the door on his head.
Yeah.
That makes me think that he is the one with the stick up his ass, basically, and is like going to be very straight-laced and like very serious, serious about everything. Yeah. And that's
going to last 3 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I think it's going to be the thing where he will be desperately clawing and struggling to keep it that way. Yep. But he's well practiced and his reserves are near endless.
But look at his hair, man. This guy.
That's true. Yep. His hair is.
See, that's the thing. You can just tell that basically everyone in this story, like thus far, like that's been brought in here, they're a bunch of bungling bakas.
Sure, they just don't necessarily know.
They don't necessarily know it yet. Exactly. Oh my god. The last little thing I think I want to bring up is that while this is a kind of a resolution of Itadori Yuji's character to do this and such, he is very much a tool here.
Yes.
They said he's practically going to be their radar, so they'll constantly be putting him out in the field so that they can sense more of Sukuna's fingers. And
that is a good way to have your main character be important to the plot, even if they can't actually fight some of the enemies they're going up against.
Right. But one of the things I feel like is built into that is the idea that just because he's the storage device for all this stuff, and he can take it just fine, we don't know the mechanics for how he could theoretically lose it. One of the things that is almost never gotten into in kind of the general kind of stories like this is the idea of the powers being taken away or removed. And yet, in the world already, we have set up the idea that there are other beings that could have combined already with Sukuna.
Yes.
Which means that...
Oh, yeah, how would you take it from them?
How would you take it from them? You can't. You would have to kill them, right?
And I guess that would, if it follows the same principle, that would destroy the object.
You would think, right?
Right.
Right. But they talk about it as if there are still 20.
That's
Meaning
true.
that none of them have ever been destroyed.
Wait, was
they've ever been combined with.
Was it that if he... Oh, no, because they were very much planning to execute him. Yeah. So it's not just you have to die of old age or something. Like it's
like, you know, we have a process. Like
right.
Poof, we like the grandpa basically. We desecrate your remains. I mean, that desecrate's the wrong word, but yeah, we immolate, incinerate, disintegrate, remove your remains. And I feel like they've just like kind of set up something of, wait, did you just kind of say that there are beings out there that are so strong that we've never ever
been able to kill any of them? And a lot of it is
and
probably
you're sending this boy.
Well, and a lot of it is probably that they haven't been able to find any of them, right? Because
that's also
because
probably
it
true.
did seem to imply that once the objects are consumed, they're a lot harder to locate.
Oh,
because then it's contained.
That would make sense,
right?
That would make sense.
So. And it like doesn't emit as much of an energy signature or whatever, right?
Yeah, probably because then Sukuna is more active in his will because he's utilizing some aspect of the person that he's
diffused and you know mixed throughout the body.
Well, right, but let's say Sukuna actually controls the person. Like that's how the usual response would be. Then Sukuna would be like, well, I'm just going to go looking for more of me as well.
And I definitely don't want anyone to find me.
I don't want anyone to find me before I'm actually that strong. So we could already have another version of Sukuna out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's looking for them as well.
And one of the things I'm also curious about is that given that these other beings will also want to consume the fingers, and Yuji already has 2, there's only 20 total.
Yep.
This feels like it could be, theoretically, this is what the whole story's about, or, more likely, this is what the first arc is about, basically.
Oh, I think this might be the whole story.
Yeah, because that's kind of part of the vibe that I'm getting and stuff. But at the same time, I feel like there's got to come a point where it's like, oh yeah, this person has like 6 of them.
Yeah, I think the difference though is that he's not like there are other cursed objects and curses that people use for power.
Not everything will have to be because of these fingers.
Exactly.
Yes.
He is just one of the most dangerous cursed things out there.
And if anything, we don't know exactly how high on the
pecking order.
On the pecking order Gojo is with regards to other people that have these abilities as a whole. We know he is very strong, but like the fact that he's able to actually take Sukuna in a fight, you know, when he's possessing Yuji, right, with just 1, that doesn't mean he'll necessarily be able to do that with 2, and someone with just 1 might rule their own mini kingdom or something, right? Like,
who knows?
Yeah.
But also, we had another thing that was lightly dropped in that there are 2 Jujutsu schools only out there, which I thought was really weird because what that means is that they called this one the Tokyo Jujutsu, you know, high, what have you. Does that mean the other one is also in Japan and that this is a localized thing that does not affect the rest of the world?
I'm guessing as much. And given the fact that the Tokyo one only has 3 first years, that means the actual rankings of this whole organization could be ridiculously small.
Yep.
Like 100 or less.
Oh, I would say that's it.
The high end.
I would guess 3 to 5 dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means now on the positive side, that means that we could end up knowing all of them. And then when characters die, it's like this organization is, you know, getting pushed to its last legs or something like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool stuff, guys. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. We
Stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if ain't that interests you, we'll see it there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.